Hi-oh, beaver! Away!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Critscast. Tonight we have the continuation of the Highlander Nations Cup number 7 for 2021, and we've got Denmark versus Ukraine. I'm Dave, and we've got Jakeowaty coming back alongside me. Crack straight into it. In terms of this group, we can see with 3 of the teams going from this group, there's a decent chance both these teams will qualify. I think Denmark in a slightly better position right now.
Just for the viewers, Russia currently crushing Group D with 18 points, no losses on their account yet. Denmark with 6 points, Ukraine and Romania tying third place with 3 points each. It's going to be an exciting match, and it is going to be on CP Steel, one of my all-time favorites. It's definitely going to be an interesting match. We'll see how it goes. And CP Steel is definitely going to expose the preparation of each team, and we'll see which one is actually more prepared than the other. As the game is slowly getting, basically started, as the lady is announcing 5 seconds left on the clock for the ready up, as the teams are now respawning, and we're about to start the first bout.
Yeah, so this is Highlander Nations Cup number 7 for 2021. It's going to be Denmark versus Ukraine. And we're just going to run down the rosters once more for you. So starting off with Denmark, we've got Potato Scout, Top Soldier, Silver Pyro, Dr. Phil on the Demo Man, Divi Heavy, Jordan on Engineer, Sintai on Medic, Sniper will be Cake, and Toast, the Legend of the Spy.
And for Ukraine, we have Bosch on Spy, Marisa on Sniper, Dog on the Medic, Ihor on the Engineer, Lolly with Perforator, at least on my UI, is the Heavy Weapons guy, Detoed on the Demo Man, Narkari on Pyro, Slowtown on the Soldier, and then SNB rounding it off on the Scout class. As the timers are about to start, the gates are about to be down. We're going to get into this game.
Yeah, so Denmark are going to be starting on the defense. We can see the first thing, from my point of view, is that they did set those quid stickies up in the White Room area, but it looks like Ukraine are going to try and push from the concrete area.
Yeah, your top's actually going down, Potato as well, and it looks like the first push of the game is just going to be kind of splitting the push. Half of the team going on to B, half of the team going A, just trying to get it capped. A point's pretty much a throwaway at this point. Okay, there with the Huntsman, trying to just snipe some heads. Maybe luckily, maybe we'll get one shot in there. We shall see. Just going in, looking for some lucky shots, but it's just not gonna quite work. Nakari is just there to reflect anything that's coming down. There's also the bonk gumming out of the Scout, but there's an Uber coming out as well. Dito Ubering in, trying to look for some kills, and it's gonna get one onto Divi. A lot of kills going down on the side of blue. They're gonna be able to probably start the cap, but I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to finish it, but it looks very promising for the team right now.
Yeah, just nicely coordinated by Ukraine. Just get the sap at the same time as the Uber coming in. And, even though they had the slightly better Uber on Denmark, they'd got so much position. It was just the fact that the sap came in completely. Silver fully turned round to go for the Spy, and obviously wasn't able to deny the Uber whatsoever. So they've given up to the B point very easily. And now Ukraine are in this position where they want to go into C, which is being kind of hard held by Denmark right now. But at the moment, they're just posturing towards this E point. It looks like they're going to go for quite a long rotation, perhaps towards the White Room area. They're getting players up to sticky those spawns out and going to get cap time on E, so Denmark are going to have to push into them.
And your Denmark on the back foot. They're holding in the connector, and they're doing a pretty good job. He's slowly getting capped by the Soldier, Slowtown. They're trying to get rid of Boshi, essentially. They do so. Now Divi is in the connector, just basically spraying and praying, but there's a lot of good air crossbow shots coming onto SNB, saving the Scouts live. The Uber is up on the side of Dog, and also Sintai also 100%. So there's going to be an Uber exchange fairly soon. They're still slowly trying to edge their way forward onto E. Slowly getting capped, ×2 on it. Marisa is scoped in, snipes Divi to down to half HP, but Divi's a heavy weapons guy. He doesn't care. Medic is also kind of staying safe in the connector. He knows there's a sniper lurking from the lobby, so they don't really want to just kind of peek too far. Dito keeping the enemy team at bay in the connector. Cake still on the Huntsman, throwing in arrows into the connector, but it's not going to catch anyone just yet.
Or Sintai's caught in a kind of awkward position. Gonna run into connector. There's so many players there. I don't know where she's completely lost. She could have walked out back into white room, decided to try and rotate back to C. But there were so many Ukrainian players she wasn't aware of where the positioning of her team or the enemy team was. And it's honestly a bit of a feed. They're going to have to give up the C point off the back of it. But it's also going to be a full Uber advantage, and they might even be able to use this before Sintai even spawns.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty rough here for the red team. Denmark is having a bit of a trouble with Slowdown, who is on that black box, healing a lot of health, causing a lot of damage as well on the side of Denmark. Only a couple of players up, and Sintai just died again, so as Uber is slowly ticking up. E-Point is getting stacked up with blue players here. Ukraine's on the offensive. Slowdown coming and rejoin the team. Divi alone with no heals is going to have a lot of trouble as well. E-Point is very rapidly getting capped. Denmark is in a lot of trouble right now. Ihor's coming to help out the sniper as well, just kind of keeping people alive. Uber's coming out as well just to make sure the damage is not being put too much. There's a nice headshot with the Huntsman from Cake, but Marisa is not staying far behind. One headshot, two headshots, can heal it for three, but no, Cake goes down with the revolver, and the points cap at just under 4 minutes, and very impressive time for Ukraine.
Yeah, they just sat everyone on the point, and Denmark couldn't quite get the kind of coordination they needed. They couldn't approach that point from kind of two different angles, turn some kind of heads. And, you know, even with that huge pick that Kate got with the Huntsman onto Dito, that was a lot of denial out of the question for the Ukrainian side, but Denmark just couldn't push in, and obviously they had to worry about that Uber. They just stacked everyone on the point and capped it super quickly.
Yeah, it was pretty rough, because you obviously don't want to put too much attention to the first few points. I mean, A, B, maybe even C you can let go, but once the C point is capped, the catwalks just kind of extend into the E point, so it's easier for all the classes to go on the point and start capping and stacking it. That's what Ukraine has done, and they just kept bleeding players for the Danish side, and it was just very difficult for Denmark to regain their composure, regain their positioning, and basically hold the point. So that's kind of unfortunate for them, but they have a pretty impressive time to beat. We will see if this one works out. There's also crit stickies set up by Dito. Let's see if he catches anyone off guard with them. He does get one, and that's Tobbs down.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what the Danes go for here. Looks like they're just going to try and pressure players out from this B side. I mean, with only like less than 4 minutes on the clock, you would think that an A is got to be in the back of their minds for both teams. Will Denmark feel they're forced to go for it? Will Ukraine be aware of how likely it is that they will go for it and have their players ready in position, you know, a bit quicker and a bit more aware than they otherwise would be?
Yeah, absolutely here, Tobbs. Moving in with the rest of the team, they're just trying to block the Ukraine team from the connector. Tato is on the point right now, just trying to get it capped, but Dito is there with the stickies, just gonna make sure nobody's able to do so, and finally Potato gets sniped by Marisa. The entire defense system is moved onto the connector. They're kind of like keeping a light hold on to B, just not really putting too much attention to it. Uber's coming out of the medic. Sin is coming in hard. The Uber is counterpop from Doge on very low health, but they're still catching players off guard. Phil is gonna get pilled in the face. Dito's still with that last of Uber coming out, protecting the medic, and they are gonna be able to survive this one, Ukraine, but the B point is about to get capped. 2.5 minutes, Dave.
Yeah, they could commit if they wanted to. They don't have to worry about Dr. Phil. He did go down. He's just spotted out. Dito's going to pressure full, get some damage, some picks up to Potato. Divi's in kind of this head-lit spot, so they are just about going to give up the cap here, Ukraine. But, you know, while they did contest it slightly, they didn't, you know, feed too many players. They've got most of their players back into this connector, and they're going to have a bit of a hard hold here.
Yeah, this is why, like, it's very comfortable to kind of hold first, sniping Marisa, is because you're setting the time. You don't have to worry too much. Here's the body shot onto Tubbs, and Marisa's just kind of holding the choke point, but he's gonna have to fall back here with D-Dote and the med as well here. Doge on 100%, so is Sin. They're gonna be able to kind of exchange Ubers fairly soon, unless one of the medics just kind of drops, unfortunately. E-Point slowly getting capped by one player. Not too much time are coming onto us, and Ukraine can kind of comfortably sit on E right now. They can forget about all the other points. C and D, leave them unattended. Just make sure that E doesn't get capped. It's already halfway done, however. Denmark is just kind of putting all their cards into one basket.
Yeah, they're not committed. They haven't got too many players stacked up. It's been a one-times cap for a long time here for the Danes. Ukraine rotated quite a few of their players, but they just rotated them, got a couple of picks, and they've actually given up the presence off on C. But Denmark, being aware of the clock, they are going to have to walk towards White Room, take a fight, but it is just it's an Uber onto a heavy, and he's got absolutely no one to target.
Yeah, it's just a lot of damage being exchanged, but not a lot of kills. 2-3 players down for the side of blue here. Offensive side, Phil's kind of disconnected from the medic. Dito's trying to get him dead, and finally goes down Phil with a headshot from Marisa. Marisa's doing an immense amount of work in those open spaces that is just easy to utilize the sniper. In 30 seconds left on the clock. It is still technically possible, but the Danish team needs to get some presence onto the right this moment, because otherwise they're gonna lose this one. The E is ticking down very, very slowly. The sticky trap. Dito on 9k streak. He's very low. Oh, he's about to go down, but he does not in the end. Marisa saves him from Dr. Phil there.
Yeah, Dito just has too much brain power for these gamers right now, and we're ticking down the last 5 seconds. It's completely impossible now. So, there we go. Ukraine are going to take the first round, and as we say, that does put them in a pretty good position. Potentially, if we're assuming Russia are likely to win that, then certainly, Ukraine getting the 2 points here could mean that they're potentially already in the playoffs.
It's very comfortable to be attacking first because you are the one to set out time. You can be aggressive, you can take risks, you can try to go for E-push straight off the bat and see what happens. You don't have much to lose. You can kind of play against the time. And once you set the time, it's 4 minutes left on the clock for the other team to cap the E point. This is going to be very difficult for the other team because, you, as you set the time for 4 minutes, you can comfortably let go the other points, just focus all of your defense onto E and make sure the other team does not cap. Whereas now, this Denmark on the offense now, so they're going to be setting up, or setting out the kind of the pace of this game, whereas Ukraine is going to be defending first, so we'll see how this one goes. So far, Ukraine, very impressive kind of show in the beginning of this game, but we shall see how this one goes and progresses later on.
Yeah, it's clear from that first round that Denmark did have some set plans, like they did the AE into drop-down bait, and then they tried to get something going on that E point, but they just weren't able to lock the spawns as they wanted. They've lost a couple too many players, so they're going to have to change up a little bit. Maybe now they haven't got the timer against them, they can do a bit more kind of play on the B point, a little bit more pressure onto the concrete area. But yeah, obviously not having that timer against them is very, very good.
Oof. Silver DK doesn't see those sticky traps here. Finally got a detonated here. Dito's going down, actually. That's the one who's going down. It's very important for the crits to go down as well. The crit stickies just disappear as the demo dies, so it's a good pickup. A is about to get capped by the scout and the engineer, so it's an easy pickup as well. Marisa sniping the still on Huntsman cake. Very interesting that he's still sticking onto that Huntsman there. And then Toast getting ready to sap the sentry at the right moment with that ambassador, but he gets the stab instead. The sniper is a bit too slow to react. Nice headshot on the engineer as well, picking up Ihor. It's a lot of defense down. The Ubers are coming out, however, from both teams, but not many pickups are happening there. But it seems that the blue team here in Denmark will be able to slowly edge their way forward and cap B with relative ease.
Yeah, nicely played there from Denmark. They just got the sap in. Dr. Phil took out the gun, forced the medic, took out the teleporter. Didn't feel the need to chase players super deep and end up in a potentially bad situation where you are essentially feeding into their slightly better Uber. But it just got all the kind of NG buildings down and got position on the second point and took B comfortably, and now they're going to have to move through this connector.
Gonna be difficult though, because Denmark is not willing to give this one up. as I say this, they just kind of run away. Doge is just in a lot of trouble right now. He needs to get out of this situation really quick. Phil is on his ass right now. Silver is gonna double plus him one, the heavy. Skyper's going down, Boshi as well, and Narkari in the background. That's 4 players down for the red, which are on defense. Ukraine's having a bit of a trouble there. Seems that Denmark is opting for the ABC push. 6 HP onto Sin, but Sin is holding onto that Uber. Balls of steel on that medic. Just doing an absolute excellent job keeping it up. Gets himself a sandwich here. Gonna be able to keep herself in the fight for a little while longer. Cake with that Huntsman still kind of scoping in, looking for some pickups. Maybe the door will open, maybe it will not. Looking, oh, just in time. He is just moving away from that spot. He might have picked himself up a kill or two, but here D is getting capped. Just over 2 minutes, Phil. It's looking very promising for the Danish team.
Yeah, they're just getting a couple of picks on D-Toad, and that opened up the C point. Another pick on D-Toad, you know, running through that death corridor. He just got juggled in and was able to pick up D, just off the back of that. You can see he probably died already more than he did in that first round in total. So, you know, while they're killing D-Toad, it's going to be difficult for Ukraine, and now they're going to have to do something. They're going to have to commit super hard just to block so many players on E already.
Yeah. It's going to be very difficult, and also Sin has that 100% charge in the bang. She uses it right now. E's 3 times right now. They don't need to put any more. They just have to keep bleeding Ukraine players off the point. 2 players up, and it's just not going to happen. 3:05. That's one of the fastest times I've ever seen on the CP Steel map. It's actually very, very impressive, and it's going to be very tough nut to crack for the Ukraine team to beat this time. Like I said, it's just a very comfortable position to be in when you're attacking. You get to set the rules of this game, and that's what Denmark has done.
Yeah, basically a complete reverse of that first round, and as you say, 3:05. You know, that's. I mean, it's not the fastest time you'll ever see on CP Steel because of the fact that the E point is open immediately, but it's certainly one of the fastest, you know, full alphabet pushes you'll ever see. They were just able to take, you know, every point cleanly with each push, and as we say, it was just because they always found some kind of opening pick, usually on the D-Toad.
Yeah. Like, basically, D-Toad is one of the best players on the Ukrainian team, and if you focus him down, that's a lot of damage off the table that you are able to kind of push in and maybe jump the medic, maybe try to pick a sniper. You know, Maurice's there as well, so you need to be very careful of those very high pick, high damage classes. But we're back to another round here. This time, Ukraine's going to be attacking. The time is already gone. No kills exchanged just yet, but here's SNB going down. Nice jump by Tobbs there, picking up the scout from the top area. Dito's up there already. DV on 4 HP, but he's still standing strong. He's going to enjoy himself a sandwich just to get this health back. Dito's trying to edge his A forward. A is getting capped in the meantime, as usual. Now we're going to be probably seeing a push onto B. They need to open up that flank.
I've got to think now, with 2.5 minutes, they didn't even take control of Concrete. Are they going to rotate to E? They've actually decided not to. They're just going to use the Uber. A lot of it to Ian by the centre going to choose to pull back with the Rescue Ranger. Much better Uber coming out of Denmark there, walking forward. Nakari being a bit of a nuisance on the Pyro, just denying Dr. Phil a little bit, and the flank has gone down for Denmark, but still no position for Ukraine yet.
Yeah, Ukraine's struggling right now to just push onto B. It seems that the Danish team is just putting all their cards on in one spot, all their chips on the one spot. Phil is just point blank pilling the spy who's trying to face shank him. Maurice is pushing in slowly. Very dangerous. They have that sniper on board, and there goes Silver. Nice pickup there by the sniper. And it seems that the Danish team is just moving back. It's a safe choice. They don't want to bleed too many players. They want to just open up the E point too many enemy players there to just make sure that at least E stays safe. Jordan is moving his way towards E to put a sentry there. Is going to be quite nice. Cake still on the Huntsman, gets picked up by Marisa. It's just unfortunate, man.
So many players chasing Toast. Eventually they do get him, but he has managed to slow them down. Just 1 minute and 25 here. The first job for the Ukraine is to walk into this connector, which they're just going to trade straight in. Sintai's actually backed out, not having the Uber. Much better building here from the Ukraine, and Dr. Phil does go down for it. I don't know if that was a miscommunication, whether he thought, you know, they were going to be able to trade, but obviously that they did manage to body block the Uber a little bit, but obviously losing your demo man is kind of disaster. But the other side now lost the demo man with Toast getting a pick onto D-Toad.
Yeah, seems like Ukraine needs to get some bodies on the point. They have 5 seconds to actually get the timer started. They need 3 times on it and 45 seconds to get it capped. But it seems that it's not going to be possible for the Ukrainian team. They have all the chess pieces on the board right now. They have the players up and running. All they have to do is just kind of push, but there's Sin on the defensive side, just with that 100% Uber. She's going to be able to kind of protect the team. Slowtown's coming in, but he's going to go down there to the sentry gun. Who's very nice, strategically placed here with the heavy weapons guy on the brass beast. Divi is just pulling out the big guns. The Uber charge is ready to go as well, so he's going to be able to protect the heavy for a little while longer. Toast is there trying to cause some mayhem in the background. About 10 seconds left on the clock. E-point not even started at this point. It seems that Ukraine is just going to lose this one.
Yeah, the good job actually out of Denmark to, knowing what their win condition was, making sure they rotated and got control of that esport. Because what we saw in the first round was obviously they had a lot of pressure put off them off the back of Dito locking that sport down.
Basically, what's happening right now when it comes to just this match in general is that Ukraine and Denmark both got themselves 2 points. Now they're fighting for 4 more. And if Denmark wins, they're going to be pretty secure on that second spot in the D group of the Highlander Nations Cup tournament. However, if Ukraine wins, they're going to be above Denmark.
Yeah, I believe so.
We'll see how this one goes as well. Your predictions, Dave. Do you think Denmark's going to be able to just kind of edge their win, basically secure themselves the second spot, or is it going to be Ukraine instead?
I'm going to go for Denmark.
Just quick decision. Yeah, they've been showing quite promising results here. Like they had a better score, better time when they were attacking. That's for sure, by a minute. But we'll see if Ukraine has any answer to this, because after all, when you can play Highlander, especially on 5 CP, it's all about adaptability. You want to be able to adapt to the enemy team. You have to be able to learn from your mistakes and not panic. That's the main cause of a lot of failures in a lot of games, is that people panic, people get angry, people start blaming each other. And it's not quite gonna work, but yeah, we're gonna see how Denmark takes this one as the attackers, and they're gonna be kind of setting the pace because they got the better time last time.
Yeah, they did choose to attack first. As you say, they had the better time, so they had the option to attack. So obviously we've seen both the teams that have attacked first have won the previous rounds. Now we're into the deciding round. Denmark, obviously they're going to be happy attacking first, and we'll see how they do.
Yeah, here Slowtown doing a bit of damage on the Pyro. Mercury is also kind of sitting there on the B, trying to reflect all the rockets. Kick with that Huntsman still. Skyper's low on health, but he's going to be able to survive. Dog is actually gone. I don't know what happened to the Uber charge. I think they used it there onto B just to make sure that the medic survives, but that Uber is gone now from the table, and it's going to open up a lot of possibilities for Denmark to push onto B.
Yeah, I didn't quite see what happened there, but obviously no Uber now for the defensive side. It's weird how they've stacked so many players up on this concrete area for this initial push. It does leave them, potentially a little bit exposed. I'm actually wondering, are Denmark even aware that there is no Uber for the Ukrainian side? Because they're rotating back onto E, which is not something you would expect to do if they thought they did have the Uber advantage. But now they are deciding to go back through the drop down, still with a slight ad.
And they're pushing in hard. Dr. Phil dishing out the damage, dishing out the medicine. Uber's coming out of the blue team here. Denmark is pushing hard. Uber is still being milked by Doge, as he doesn't really quite have it, but they just caught it. Now they're pushing back, looking for the medic pickup. Running away is Sin. She's really low on health, but she's going to be able to kind of get away with that health back. Now Dito needs to get out of the situation with the medic escorting Doge out of the danger zone. And it seems that they are going to be able to hold this for a little while longer, but Toast there in the background, making sure there's a lot of damage. And Dubs comes in with a huge pickup on Doge, and that medic is gone. With 3 other players off the board for a couple of more seconds, it seems that Denmark is going to be able to stabilize on the B quite easily.
Yeah, that was just super unfortunate. You could see they had calls that there was the spy. Toast was just lurking behind someone. They weren't exactly sure where he was. So you could see Doge was just spinning around everywhere looking for this spy, but was not ready for the soldier Tobbs just to walk in from behind. Great flank from him, picking up the medic now. Big Uber advantage for Denmark.
They're pushing in through the connector. They just managed to get themselves a control over Doge, only on 30%. They're popping an Uber just to get through that choke point, chasing Doge. They find Dr. Phil, who's just jumping off a corpse there of Silver DK here. Dito on 30 HP, burning, but he's gonna be able to survive. Narkari is just chasing down Sin, and the medic goes down. What an excellent defense there. Bit chaotic, but they managed to salvage this quite nicely. They did lose the medic there in the exchange, but they managed to stabilize onto C, and C is still in the hands of Ukraine. I think we're in for a slightly longer round this time.
Yeah, super impressive from Ukraine. You know, Doge was caught in a really bad position. That Uber got caught out on the low ground, got cleaned up pretty quickly. But the collapse, particularly from Nakari and the flank, got so many frags so quickly. And focusing crucially on the players that weren't open. And Toast! How does he do it?
God! He just absolutely unchecked, and he even like shanked the medic. Medic turned around just in time here, Doge, but not in time to save himself from a bullet coming straight at his face. And the medic is down for the defensive team. E is slowly getting capped. E is getting capped. C is untouched as of yet. Divi is just gonna mow down Narkari quite easily as well with that, as that is the heavy weapons guy, and looks like it's not looking too promising. They had a very good hold last push, but this time around, that play by Toast is opening up so many possibilities.
Yeah, a bit slow by Denmark though. They had so many picks, but they haven't even taken a point off the back of it. They wanted to get some cap time on E, but didn't get any pressure towards the spawn door. And now eventually they've allowed Ukraine to get all their spawns before they've finally rotated. And, you know, now they do have control of C, so they do have a point. But I think they could have capitalized a lot better off, you know, almost a full wipe for the Ukrainian side.
Absolutely. I think there was a bit of a missed opportunity there for the Danish team, but the cap works are slowly getting extended towards E point. They have the Uber charge in the bank. Tobbs is trying to cause some trouble in the back line, but he's gonna go down there to slow town. Now Phil is gonna lock down the lobby area. Uber's coming out as well. No Uber on Doge. He's gonna go down. Nice stab. Teamwork by Toast here, chasing down Dito. They're trying, but they're finally gonna go and kill him. 4 players up for the red team. Ukraine is struggling right now with that medic pickup with no Uber charge. It's very difficult for them to do anything at this point. D is this time around gonna get capped. E is completely untouched at this moment. Nice pickup there on Kari once again by Dr. Phil, who's dishing out his damage. Huge plays. Slow down a bit of a trouble there with Silver just reflecting all the rockets back at him. Nice air shot there onto Tobbs, gonna finish him off. Slowdown's still alive, but there's so many blue players, he's not gonna be able to stay alive.
Yeah, Slowtime just doing an excellent job of, you know, almost his name, just slowing down the enemy team just a little bit. Obviously, they had so many picks on the Danish side, but the E-Cap only just started to get capped out. Dito's having to take a fight, but is walking into so many players. 4x on the cap, another NG, and a Scout are all going to have to feed. All these players just feeding to try and block, but so many players, and now the heals up as well. They're going to take the round. It's in 5:22, so a lot slower than we saw, you know, the previous couple of rounds, but still a respectable time for sure.
Absolutely, I agree as well. In 5 minutes and 22 seconds, it's a very good time for Steel. You kind of like, sometimes it even goes up to 17 to 20 minutes time. It's just kind of ridiculous how slow sometimes teams are when they're pushing, or they're having a lot of trouble pushing in, but these teams are not really taking any chances. There were a few times where Denmark could shave off some of the seconds, like for example, again, like when they actually wiped out the enemy team, they could have pushed E, they could have pushed C, and they didn't really do anything with that. They sort of lost the steam and just didn't do anything. They managed to cap C in due time, but they could have probably made this time a little bit faster for themselves. Now Ukraine's going to be fighting against that clog. They're going to be trying to cap E under the time that Denmark has set, and yeah, we'll see if this one works out, as Ukraine is now going to be doing the standard A push and B kind of scope in, check in. How's the situation there at Cake? Scoped over the Huntsman, shooting but not getting anything. Marisa picks up the first kill of this round.
Standard-ish difference, obviously losing the side, but I mean that bomb from the Scout is just coming. They've pushed everyone out of that concrete area already. There is still a teleporter up there, although it has gone down now, so only the soldier is going to be able to jump back onto that high ground. A couple of players have gone down for the either side actually. You know, losing Divi and Potato, Divi especially is kind of quite a big pick, and you can see just how much of a kind of launch pad this concrete area is potentially, but they are going to have to dislodge Tobbs.
Yeah, they're still holding on to B here, Denmark. Uber's coming out of Dito just in time to get himself safe from that Uber trap here. A lot of work being done by Doge by just kind of taking a lot of shots. Jordan in a lot of trouble, is going to get shot there by SNB. SNB's working onto the heavy weapons guy. Divi's going to go down as well. Phil in the background. This is an absolute mayhem going down. 2 players up, only for the red team. Denmark's getting absolutely manhandled there. And the B is going to go to the way of Ukraine quite soon enough. Potato's still fighting Narkiri, but Narkiri is going to whip out that reserve shooter and going to pick himself up not 1, but 2 kills.
Wiethoofd did so much work there. Obviously, a terrible Uber coming in to start with, but as the counter Uber from Denmark come in, he just jumps in behind, picks up the NG with the help of his scout, then plants a load of stickies behind the retreating combo from the Dent and kills them all, and is able to get the cap as well off the back of it. Wiethoofd absolutely carrying at the moment.
Here. This is a bit of a mayhem, bit of a stressful situation here. Toast with a stair stab on the soldier here. Quite unfortunate for Slowtown to go down like that. He's still up and running. He picks himself up the respawn locker. Full HP with that dead ringer. He's having a bit of trouble with Dito. He's gonna just face tank Dito, and Dito's gonna blow himself up like that. Very nicely done. A lot of trouble for the offensive team here. Ukraine is struggling. 3 minutes left on the clock. They're getting those faster respawns. A lot of players are down, and so is the medic. Sin going down on engagement there in the lobby area. Potato's looking for some kills as well. Oh, he finds the medic. He's able to get him. Oh, yes, he will. He will, though, going down as well, kind of equalizing the scales for the medic Uber charges, but E-point only halfway done, 2 minutes and 50 seconds left on the clock. Ukraine needs to get something done right now.
Yeah, obviously the fast pace, the frags being traded, it did look briefly good for Denmark there. Their good defense was very, very impressive, just well coordinated. Players winning their 1v1s as well, but Boshi came in with a big stab. I think that was a drop onto Simtire, but again, a clutch play just in reverse. Both teams going hammer and tongs at it, bringing it back, and, you know, Uber's stabilised. It's been relatively even. Both sides have most of their gamers up, so while they do have control of the C point now, you know, they have enough players in Denmark to defend this.
The catwalks are coming down. Toe's gonna use the catwalk to get onto the lower ground, just kind of edge his way forward. Potatoes on the medic, a few shots, 4 or 5, finally get Doge down with the last shot in his scattergun. Top's in a little bit of trouble, but that black ball's gonna help him out a lot, and, well, takes himself down as well as SNB there. E-point is wide open, a little under 2 minutes left on the clock. Still very possible for the Ukraine team, but Denmark is just gonna put all their chips on the E-point. They need to make sure that it does stay safe. And here Divi's just revved up. Cake with that Huntsman as well, gonna be locking down those sight lines. Picks himself up, and Marisa, Potato having a little scuffle there with the scout, takes down SNB quite easily in the lobby area as well, and just gonna move himself towards the lobby. Blue team is just kind of camping out the lobby. They're moving in from C point. Maybe they can still do this.
Yeah, they're going to go for a big rotation through Death Corridor. They have to worry about Tobbs, who is just chipping them a little bit from spawn. They are navigating it fairly successfully. You can see already, though, Dr. Phil does have Sticky. He does detonate. They do get the force out relatively easily there. Doge is only up at 80%, but they're stuck in Death Corridor right now. Are they going to get flanked? Pressure coming in from Divi from the front. No one coming in from the back, though, so they are able to kite. They are able to retain an Uber advantage as well. So, you know, 45 seconds. They're going to have to get on the E-point pretty quickly, but they do have this Uber, Jake.
Yeah, they do. Uber's gonna come in clutch right now. Surfing his Doge on the catwalks. He's gonna get pushed off by the sentry gun. Going down with the Uber charge still running, which is very unfortunate. A lot of players are down from the side of blue. 4 players up for Ukraine. Tobbs is doing work in the lobby area. He's trying to stay alive. Slowtown is just kind of clearing stickies, but with 20 seconds on the clock and E-point nowhere near capped, I think this is pretty much all she wrote for this game. Ukraine is unfortunately going to lose themselves a few points here, and they're going to have to satisfy themselves with the 3rd spot in the group stage here. Dave, I don't think, yeah, there is no hope. No chance they're going to take this one. Dito is still trying to get those logs kind of padded out with the damage as the game is done, and Denmark clutches themselves a nice little win over Ukraine.
Yeah, well played from Denmark. And, you know, especially at the end there, we saw Silver, what an air blast, It doesn't matter if the enemy team has an Uber. As long as there's a pit, that Pyro can airblast you into it, and brilliant denial from him, and it was a game-winning play. Yeah, pulling up these logs, D-Toad, top in damage, top in frags. He wins, but unfortunately his team does lose.
If Ukraine started the second round, if they got themselves a better time so they could choose the third round, I think it could have been the other way around. I think Ukraine could have taken it.
Both, the teams that attacked first won it all 3 rounds, so that was potentially a decisive factor. Obviously, that third round wasn't quite as quick. Obviously, everyone who has watched, thank you for watching, and, you can check us out. Twitter and Discord are the best places to find out when the casts are happening. You can get involved in the community there. If you're watching this on Twitch, be aware that all the VODs are going to go up on YouTube eventually. If you're watching on YouTube, also be aware we are streaming constantly on this Twitch channel. So head on over there if you want to catch us live. If you want to support the channel, you can subscribe on Twitch, and you can also donate via Patreon, or also picking up some merch as well. And all those options to support the channel will support the casting and production talent.
Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you guys later this week, hopefully, as the fixtures are going to be coming up. So make sure you stay subscribed to the Twitter channel, where we update it as soon as we know the fixtures and what the lineup is for the game. We'll be bidding you adieu. So thank you for watching once again. See you guys in the next cast.
Hi, old beaver! Away!